Hey, Steve Zook here. Welcome back to Pokesoo channel and the Guitar Letter System. Hey, here's a highly collectible guitar that's in my collection. I'm going to let it go. This is a lawsuit model Ibanez from the 70s. And a lot of people don't realize, the quality of Ibanez guitars is very high. I mean, they endorse George Benson, Pat Metheny, John Scofield. This one's got a three-piece back. This guitar kind of like combines a vintage Martin D35 with a vintage Guild like D50 or D55. It really has a sound that's in a class by itself. I've owned a lot of Martins in my life. I've owned a lot of D35s. I used a vintage D35 on my CD, which is actually reviewed at Vintage Guitar Magazine. If you go to vintageguitar.com, put in Steve Zook, you can read my review by Stephen Stone, who's actually bought a few guitars for me, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is an amazing guitar. It just really collectible, but it's got just a very, very unique resonant musical sound. It seems to have more tone than even a lot of the great Martins I've had. This thing is really in a class by itself. I'm just going to do it's always hard for me to describe tone, but there's just something, even my roommates have said there's something in the tone of this guitar they haven't heard in any other guitars. I think this is highly collectible. If you own a recording studio, this would be a really cool guitar to have in your studio to get that tone, It just has a big, but yet musical tone. I think it's got more, I hate to use the word piano type resonance, but by piano I just mean a big sound, but yet musical, not just thuddy, I'm not very warmed up, so this demo is going to be short. Yeah, it really has a tremendous sound. And by the way, I'm just using a $100 Zoom Q3 with really small, cheap mics, so nothing sophisticated here, folks. This could add a whole new dimension to your recording and your writing. Made in Japan. Anyway, sounds like a grand piano, man. I mean, I've had a lot of great guitars in my life. I've been playing since I was 8. I'm almost 70. I'll be 70 in March of this year. But man, this is not sales bullshit. There's something really special about this guitar. It just has a depth to it and a resonance. I'm going to keep this demo short. yeah, it's just got, you can hear it. It's got the great overtones, but it has, I think the word I want to use is a lot of weight presence, and bandwidth to the mid bass and the mids, which is where a lot of the magic is in a great guitar. Yeah, I was playing this the other day, and one of my roommates is a great songwriter guitar player, and she actually said, I've never heard a guitar like that, and she's heard all my stuff. She's heard my old Martins and my old Gibsons and Gills. This is really an interesting sounding guitar. I haven't played it much, so the strings probably need to stretch out a little bit. Just really, it's got that great made in Japan overtone, but it has a warmth and a weight and a bandwidth. This would be a killer guitar for a studio or collector or just player. So I'm going to keep this demo short, but yeah, this is really highly collectible. I feel it's going to go up in value because it's so rare. And a lot of people advertise guitars as lawsuit models, but they're really not. This definitely is. It's got the Guild logo from the 70s on there, and it's got the three-piece back like a Martin D35. This is a tremendous instrument. I've got two. The other one I have has a little mark here on the side, a place where the binding needs to be fixed real small. Probably be fixed for 100, 150. If you want to buy both of mine, I'll give you, work something out with you. But yeah, not an easy guitar for me to let go of because I love stuff like this. This is not a guitar you could just go out on a weekend and go to, 10, 20 stores. You won't find one of these. They're really hard to find. This is the kind of stuff I like to deal in, is stuff that's impossible to find, but has a lot of magic and a lot of mojo, and it's not bullshit. See, it's got that weighty sound, like a big Martin Dreadnought, but with more weight and more mojo in the mid and the mid bass. Again, it's hard to describe because this guitar is so unique sounding. But it's they captured. I mean, they nailed it. They just nailed it. They captured the magic mojo of a great vintage Martin D35 with the great vintage mojo of a great vintage Guild. I mean, it's no easy feat to do, by the way. Yeah, it sounds tremendous. If I didn't have so many guitars, I'd keep it. And by the way, that's kind of the way I work, is I buy guitars that I really would be excited to own, because I do own them for a while. I buy guitars that are really hard to find because of the rarity and because of the value. This is a huge point, guys and gals. The value of guitars, because most stuff is so pricey nowadays, but yet oftentimes the value doesn't seem to match up, in my opinion, with what you're paying. This is a guitar that gives you, you got old wood. The back appears to have some wood from Brazil. You got old wood, you got design. I mean, a lot of thought went into this guitar. A lot of thought, a lot of research and development, and made in limited numbers, and it just sounds unreal. As you can hear, You know, it almost has a little, just a little tinge of a it's an interesting mix of guitars. I hear a little bit of a J45 in it, but it's got way more overtones, way more mid-range and treble than even a good J45, which tends to has that rounded sound. But there's just a certain roundness and a certain pianistic tone to this. Incredible guitar if you have a studio. If you have a studio, you're going to have people wanting to use this guitar to record, I'll tell you. It's got a few dings on the top, you know. It's an older guitar, but man, you know, it's got a decent setup. This is just a tremendous instrument. I like to think of it like it's not so much that I sell guitars as it is I hook up, you know, players and composers and collectors with fine, high quality guitars that don't cost you 30 grand, you know. This is a lot of guitar. Anyway, any questions, email me, pokezu@gmail.com or stevezook7@yahoo.com. Or wherever, you know, if you happen to see it on Reverb, then you can hit me up through that, you know. Anyway, tremendous guitar. Got a few dings. Plays good though. I love the golden color of this guitar. This is the kind of stuff I just love to deal in because, I mean, every time I pick this guitar up and play it, I'm just like, whoa, you know. And I always make the joke I should be selling tires, right? I should be selling something I could, you know, don't care about that much. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like tires, but listen to that. Unbelievable guitar. Or you can text me or call 714-548-0385. It's hard for me to pick up the phone all the time, but I'll call you back or text you back or something. Or email me, pokezu@gmail.com. Or the message thing on YouTube doesn't work that good. I don't suggest you communicate that way. But if you'd like to have a really great guitar that's up there with something you could spend, you know, 10, 20 grand or more for, this is it. This is the kind of stuff I do. I try to offer a great value to my customers and my friends and players so you don't have to pay an arm and a leg to get a lot of Magic Mojo. But yeah, this thing just sounds unbelievable. It's just got a big resonant musical sound. Yeah, this thing sounds unbelievable when you record it with, you know, high quality instruments too. Get a good mic with this guitar and you're going to have some magic, man. All right, guys and gals, take care. Let's all keep the positive faith. Ciao.